Welcome to the Explainer. In the constant flood of AI news, it's pretty rare for something to come along that could genuinely, truly change everything. But today, we're looking at a new AI model that might just do that by finding the hidden flaws that could, well, break the internet as we know it. So let's be real. The AI world is just full of hype. It's so tough to tell the difference between stories that are kind of huge if true, like an AI gaining consciousness, and those that are huge and true. Well, a new development just landed squarely in not second category. And believe me, it is a game changer. So what is this new model? It's called Claude Mythos. And while it's already in the hands of a very select few, you and I, we can't get access to it. Let's dig into why. To really get what Mythos says, you first got to know how Anthropic structures its models. So up until now, they've had three main tiers. You've got Haiku, which is small and fast, Sonnet, which is kind of the middle ground, and then Opus, their most capable model that's out in the wild. Well, Mythos, that's a brand new tier that sits way above all of them. And here's where you really see its raw power. There's this notoriously difficult software engineering test called SWE-Bench Pro. The previous top model, Opus, scored a pretty respectable 53%. Mythos, it just blew past that with a score of 77%. I mean, come on, that's not just an improvement. That is a massive, massive leap in capability. But honestly, impressive test scores aren't the real story here. What makes Mythos a huge and true moment is what it can actually do out in the real world. Okay, first, we need to wrap our heads around a super critical concept in cybersecurity, the zero-day vulnerability. Basically, this is a flaw in a piece of software that nobody knows about yet. Not the people who made it, not the security teams, nobody. And because it's unknown, there's no patch for it, which makes it incredibly valuable and really, really dangerous. This is where things get truly mind-blowing. Anthropic unleashed Mythos on an operating system called OpenBSD, which is just legendary for its security. And Mythos found a critical bug, one that allowed it to completely seize control, a bug that had been hiding there, in plain sight, undiscovered by any human expert for 27 years. And believe me, that was just the beginning. Anthropic then pointed Mythos at the software that literally powers our entire world, major operating systems, web browsers, and it uncovered thousands of these zero-day flaws. It even found multiple new vulnerabilities in Linux, and then, all on its own, figured out how to chain them together to create a working exploit. But, a tool this powerful immediately brings up a very, very dangerous question. Here's the critical dilemma, right? The exact same system that can find a vulnerability so defender can patch it is the exact same system an attacker can use to exploit it. And this, right here, is why Anthropic is not releasing this model to the public. So instead of a public release, what they've done is launch Project Glasswing. This is basically a program to put this powerful defensive tool into the hands of the good guys. We're talking companies like Microsoft, Google, Apple, and open source groups like the Linux Foundation, so they can start finding and fixing all these flaws. But even this controlled release is a huge risk. As cybersecurity expert Sherry Davidoff famously said, 3 can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. The point is, when you give a tool this powerful to dozens of companies, it's really not a question of if it leaks, but when. So this entire development just throws gasoline on an already burning cybersecurity arms race. And it does something else too. It exposes a fundamental and frankly kind of terrifying weakness in our entire digital world. So here's the core of the problem. It takes us humans way, way longer to patch a vulnerability than it does to discover one. Now, with AI like Mythos, that discovery is happening at an incredible, almost instant speed, creating this massive gap between finding flaws and actually fixing them. It's a race we are just not equipped to win. So why is all our software so fragile in the first place? Well, one expert has this brilliant analogy. For decades, we've basically been making artisanal software. It's kind of like building houses with whatever sticks you can find, because we haven't yet invented standardized building materials, like the 2x4. All our code is handcrafted, and that just makes it inherently full of flaws. And this problem is dangerously magnified by something called monoculture. See, when billions of computers all run the same code, think Microsoft Windows or Google Chrome, a single flaw doesn't just impact one user. It puts every single one of us at risk of a widespread systemic collapse. So what's the takeaway here? Is this all just terrible news? Well, not necessarily. A threat this profound is also a powerful catalyst. Mythos isn't just a code breaker, it's a huge opportunity to finally rebuild our digital infrastructure from the ground up, but this time, the right way.
You see, the long-term solution isn't just about playing whack-a-mole with bugs. First, we've got to adopt modern, secure programming languages like Rust that are just inherently safer than old ones like C++. Second, we can use AI to generate and rigorously test those digital 2x4s, those standardized, secure, machine-verified building blocks for our software. And third, AI could eventually create personalized software for each of us, which would break up that dangerous monoculture and reduce the systemic risk for everyone.
We are at a massive inflection point. Our entire digital world was built by human hands, with all the little flaws and mistakes that come with it. Now we have a tool that can expose every single one of those flaws, but it might also be the very tool we need to rebuild our world on a much, much stronger foundation. The only question left is, are we ready to let machines take the lead?